Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Heart and Hustle podcast. Do-do-do.
Dee-dee-dee.
We are here. Oh, was that a do-do-do and a dee-dee-dee?
Mhm.
Is that like the next
It's Christmas, baby.
evolution of it?
Christmas time.
I like it. Okay, wonderful.
Told you.
Today, we have a lovely conversation lined up, and we are going to try to not ramble. I think we tried to get most of our ramblings out in the beginning episodes, and we're going to try to
episodes.
stick to what we got to talk to because we have curated a wonderful conversation. So today we want to talk about, we mentioned in previous episode how we're in the part of our life where we had the brick and mortar shop and then have transitioned out of that physically to be able to spend time as a family and like really craft our life to what we want it to be, which didn't involve spending 10 hours a day in this beautiful, wonderful card shop that we have and love, but it didn't work the amount of time that we were spending there. So we stepped away, and that has been the dream and the goal, and everything's been great and yay. But there are some unexpected things that we ran into, some unexpected kinks, some unexpected, and I say unexpected because at least for me, I didn't pre-plan. I was just like, get home. Like, I need you home with us so we can do this. I didn't actually like think about what that was going to entail.
So all that being said, what's the purpose of the episode?
I said that. The purpose of the episode are things we ran into since stepping away from the business that we didn't like plan for. Or
see, this is 101 where men don't listen to their women sometimes, I guess.
This is literal proof. And actually, you do listen to me, which is crazy. So yeah, these are things we ran into that we didn't prepare for. And I'll let you kick off the first one because this, I definitely know bothers you.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay, that's nice. It's an adjustment.
It's a big adjustment for me.
Because it's out of your norm, and this is the one thing that you have to.
Well, we're the biggest, most opposite but alike people like that we know, and obviously,
and this is one of our opposites that you're having to.
So the biggest, it's getting used to someone's morning routine, and that's huge because this is a sleep princess over here, and I'm a. Once I'm up kind of person. So
opposite.
Here's a great example where we get up, we get our daughter ready for school, and then she'll have a cup of coffee, and we come back from taking her to school, and she can go right back to sleep. She calls it her nap.
I usually do.
I've never heard of somebody like an hour after you wake up that I'm going to go take a nap. Like, that's cool. I love that, actually. It's hilarious.
It feels so good.
It does sometimes. But the point of that is I'm up, right? Like, I'm not one that can, even if I try to just lay down next to her and I'm just doing things on the laptop or whatever, I can't go back to sleep. My brain is booming from the second I wake up. And
my brain does not boom in the morning. It doesn't matter. Even there are times, don't get me wrong, where I get up and I'm just up for the day, and I enjoy that too. But I have to fill my morning with like a workout, like not brain power, not coaching, not consulting, not like actively adding to the business, but it'll have to be like self-care, stretching my body.
We have about
working
4
out.
hours a day collectively where our brains are maxing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because
wow, that's crazy.
When your brain turns on, it's nighttime. Like your brain, and it's after our daughter goes to bed.
I can get it.
I'm shutting it off.
Yeah.
It has now become my decompression time because I'm not going back to take a nap in the morning.
So getting used to each other's nighttime routine is also important because that's where I'm thriving and he's powering down, and that is rough because I'm ready to go, run through the wall. Everybody sleep. This is my time.
I don't want to. At nighttime, I'm good at helping you create your solutions. I no longer want to work on solutions for myself.
Well, your brain's not actively thinking forward. It's
correct.
Now,
I don't want to have my brain think for me. I'd rather think for somebody else because I probably am a lot harder on myself, obviously, than I am others and how they approach things. But I would absolutely focus and dial in on myself 10 times more at night if I wanted to. But I need the downtime. Otherwise, my brain's just going crazy all day from 7 o'clock in the morning. So, and for the record, we don't go to bed till like 1:30 in the morning. So I'm up from 7 a.m. to 1:30 in the morning So yeah, when 10 o'clock hits, I want my brain to shut off so I can get a few hours of just peace.
Yeah. And it's important to note, because this is like high achieving entrepreneur type podcast, I'm not just like waking up and then going back to sleep because I'm lazy. I am
yeah.
making up for those hours at nighttime. So
Yeah.
it's just a different schedule. It's not, I'm just sleeping more than the average person.
Sometimes I'll even fall asleep before you. So
A lot of times you do.
Yeah.
And again, that's where we have to get used to each other's nighttime routine, because it's actually really hard for somebody like me, who I'm a feeler, aside from just being an empath, but like genuinely, if somebody's sleeping next to me, I'll start feeling sleepy. And psychologically, that's just how humans are. But especially for people who, I don't know what part of me makes me feel more than others, but like it does affect me more than others when he's falling asleep when I'm trying to run. And actually, back during like COVID times in our old house, I remember that was a big problem for me, that you'd fall asleep you were working the shop 12 hours a day at the time, coming home exhausted. At nighttime, you were sleeping. And then I was doing, making custom t-shirts and stuff, but it was hard for me to have fun and be creative when I'm next to like a sleeping man.
Yeah.
But we're so attached to each other, we wanted to be in the same room.
Yeah.
So I had to work in the room with him, because while he's sleeping, he hasn't seen me all day besides the last few hours of the night. So he wants to be next to me, and we love each other so much. But anyway, that was a big thing we had to work on, because I have to still be able to feel my best, powerful, creative self while you're powering down, which are complete opposites. So working with both of those things in different times.
The morning is bigger though. So back to that would be, I am a huge routine person. She's not so much. But the reason I say that is my brain processes things on how to make the next few steps more simple. For example, like I'm a big person and believer in brush your teeth before you take a shower. I know some people just wake right up and they just hop right in the shower. And sometimes the people brush their teeth in the shower. People brush their teeth after the shower. I'm a big person. I'm brushing them before I get in.
And I'm different every time.
It's different every time. But one thing you'll admit to is the times that you remember to brush your teeth before you get in is when you're out of the shower. It's a complete different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
There's no longer this, now I have 2 more minutes before I have to do my next thing. You're ready to go.
Or like this dirtiness still lingering that you have to get. Like the shower is your final boss.
Well, at least no matter what, from what I've seen, you'll always put mouthwash in first.
Usually. So I enjoy my coffee.
Right.
And a lot of times when I'm done with the cup of coffee, I'm not ready like that exact second to wash it out of my mouth. That's fine. So I will do like, I'll rinse my mouth, I'll do mouthwash. I let it kind of transition before I'm ready to scrub my teeth. Like I like need that sometimes.
So my morning looks like I wake up, after, I'm getting my morning ready for myself. So first things, I pick my outfit out for the day, which I try to do at nighttime because you waste so much. They say you waste so much of your brain power just picking out of your outfit for the day. And it might not seem like that, but just the thought process that goes into it is you're just powering through so much of your velocity for it. But my outfit's usually ready, and then I do my teeth, and then I get ready to map out in my head what my next few steps are. So it's just automatic and it's autopilot. So it's not necessarily the same every day, but probably 90%. So I would definitely say, like, for you, it's just all over the place. And for me being home more now, because a lot of times you would be kind of just getting up when I'm leaving to go to the shop. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal that I don't see what your morning routine is like. We've been together for so long that I don't even know what your morning routine was like. So seeing you operate, I'm just like, this is what? How do you deal with this every day?
I'm so leisurely in the morning because it's a slow roll. I might throw on the TV, put on a podcast. I might meditate.
I'm ready. I want to go. I want to get the day going. I want to get everything moving. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
I want like 2 hours of just doing my thing.
Oh, God.
A whole lot of nothing.
That's such a...
Stretch a little bit. Lay around a little bit.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So actually, let's move on past this, but I do think it's important, and this is one of my like biggest core beliefs, and this is why I am so strict with my non-morning routine, is like you need to make your life what it's supposed to be for you. If I was meant to be a morning person, I would have been a morning person by now. If I was meant to operate that way, I would have been built to operate that way. I was on the rowing team at Rutgers University. We had to be on the water by 6 a.m., which means I had to wake up every day by 5 a.m., get to a different campus, be on the water. Like if that didn't turn me into a morning person, my circadian rhythm wants to be at night.
Well, it's funny because our second thing is getting into a rhythm and getting in a schedule.
That is the next hardest thing because we are doing our own thing and we can really make our day whatever we want it to be. So it's intentionally like putting those pieces into place while still filling the cup, doing all the things we have to do. And we've been doing that for a while. And I feel like now we're finding missing pieces that, at least for me, like one of the things that I'm lacking since stepping away from the shop is the social aspect. The only social interactions we have at this point are cheer and each other. And the only reason we have cheer is because that was a prior commitment, but we haven't. And that's also the reason we haven't
we didn't dive into what we wanted to specifically because cheer was already in the works.
Yes.
So.
And as the cheer coach, and I'm just going to call you a cheer coach too, because the amount of, we have great team parents, but you are the team dad that you're just very much in line with the coaches. We even rely on you as such. The other coaches also just call you Uncle Travis, Coach Travis. Like,
oh, yeah.
The parents do, they go to him. So anyway, he very much is a coach. So like the amount of effort and time and commitment, and we obviously don't half-ass anything. So it's not like we just come home and forget about it. This season has been a lot, and we're coaching little girls that require a lot. It's not like we can just sit on the sidelines and tell them what to do. So
before you move on with the coaching, I have to say this because I love the relationship with the organization that we have because they all know that I am serious and I'm firm on a lot of things, but I'm just a complete goofball. So no matter what I say, they know how to pick up on it. So like a couple practices ago, we were on the field. We were getting ready to have a parent meeting. And
a parent meeting, serious.
And all the coaches are on the field with their cheerleaders and stuff like that.
The other team.
They're saying hello, and I'm chatting with them. And then she comes and she goes, "Hey, meeting is this way." And I just look up, and I have 4 different sets of coaches looking at me at this time. And just off the top, I just look at her and go, "Listen, if I wanted to be a boss around on a schedule like that, I would just go back to prison."
Everybody just goes.
2 of them knew. Absolutely off the bat, it was completely a joke. But the fact that they were just like, "What?" And like all the cheerleaders looked, they're like, "What?"
That's just Uncle Travis, just being Uncle Travis.
Yeah, they knew.
It's so refreshing.
They knew.
But that is the max of our social interactions lately because during the day, we're working on ourselves. I'm having my slow morning routine. We're getting stuff we have to get done, XYZ. Then we're going to cheer. And by that, we're like maxed out. So the one thing I do want to make sure we're adding into our routine intentionally is like masterminding, meeting up with other people, really
and we
creating.
have some of those lined up.
Yeah.
And we're waiting. So
we haven't had the time and energy. And this was all pre-planned, so that's fine. But definitely have to fill the social cup, the networking cup, the, figuring out more people to run with. So that was a transition because we didn't have to figure those things out intentionally before because we were constantly surrounded with different groups of people. And that is no longer the case. So getting into a schedule and a rhythm. How have you transitioned with that? How did you feel? Because how did that change for you going from running the shop and having very specific tasks that you have to do every day?
So rhythm, I don't even know which one's more difficult because I had a schedule, right? So not having a schedule isn't really the biggest thing to adapt to because I knew what I was getting into, right? I knew I wanted to breathe for at least a couple weeks when I first, stepped back in and fully immerse myself into the family dynamic. So I don't think schedule was as rough as rhythm.
Good.
Rhythm, I think, was harder because I'm moving at everybody else's pace and speed that isn't like mine and trying to adapt to that, right?
Oh, that's huge.
A lot of people say that, and I've heard this a lot lately, which is crazy because I just don't see it, but maybe just my hustle's different. Is I move with purpose. Everything. Everybody's always called me a city walker. Everybody's called me like, oh, I'm kind of like military style. Like, I just don't see it. I'm so used to it that I feel like, why are you just walking so slow? Like you're not have something to do into that store right there. Like why? Like you're holding up everybody else now who actually might be in a rush.
And that's where we're opposites. I'm like, why are you rushing?
And
we have nowhere that we actually have to be.
Dude,
we made this plan because we felt like it.
You should have had that on the pet peeve was how fast I walk.
I know. Because you know what? The other thing is when Travis walks ahead of me at this point, I let him. I'm just going to keep going my pace. And at some point he turns around, he's like, and I'm like, what's up? You coming back or just wait there? I'll be there.
I'm telling you, I don't feel like I walk fast.
Yeah.
I feel like I have intent. And
man, through Disney, we are chasing this man. Let me tell you. It's great. No, you do. You walk with purpose.
Yeah, I
You
would
got
say-
somewhere to go. If we're going over there, then we're going
yeah,
over
I would
there.
say again, back to that, I think rhythm was what I struggled with, is being in syncrasy with
Well, it's
everybody
also
else.
hard too, I'm assuming, for you, because you went from growing like a very specific business that has specific.
Okay.
Was that that was in?
That was the ice machine.
Okay, I was just checking. That was the ice machine, not the door. You went from a business that had a very specific. You have specific tasks that you have to do every day, so it like that kind of made more sense to now coming home and being a father, being a husband, but also like growing a personal brand, which doesn't have real rules. It doesn't have real structure. And then deciding like how we're growing our brand separately, how we're growing it together, what these coaching containers are going to look like, possibly separately, possibly together. So like it went from like not having rules and being able to decide what you actually like want that to look like or want to include in your life, which is, I'm assuming, different than when you're running the shop where it had like those day-to-day SOPs that you have to basically hit with room for other stuff
It was
you want
more
to do.
robotic.
Yes. Because that's just what you have
That's
to
how
do in that
business is.
business.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think that's cool. I like that you've now had the freedom to do more, figure it out, decide what you want that to be, change it. Because that's how I live my life, very loosey-goosey, obviously. So the next one, which goes hand in hand with this, is finding a schedule and rhythm. I've noticed I've had a hard time finding personal time to myself now because it used to be built into my day. You would leave the house around 10:30. I had from 10:30 until 2, 3 o'clock, depending on what time I picked up our daughter. So I had that personal time every single day to like work on myself or do literally whatever I want to do. Now I don't have any personal time because even when I'm away from the house, I'm at cheer with 100 girls and then I'm coming back home to a house. And then I think there's literally only been once or twice where I even just like kind of went to the store, but like just did something on my own and I felt guilty for that. So that's something I'm going to have to work through because, and not that, I mean, it's crazy for me to feel guilty leaving Milani with you because you're the one that wants to have all the time with her, but I still feel guilty when I'm not a part of that.
I don't know if you feel guilty of FOMO.
I think both. Yeah. No, I think both for sure. Because I don't mind. I want you and her to have fun without me.
See, I
sometimes.
feel guilty if like I was to go to, let's just say the casino or something, I'd feel guilty to an extent because I don't want to leave just after she goes to bed.
Why? That's exactly when you leave.
I understand, but we all know how long it takes to get there. So it's just cutting in. So then I'm coming home significantly later. Whereas if I can just leave a little earlier, I'm not coming home so late. I can go to bed at a decent time and then I'm up and she doesn't, it's not taking away, or the energy or the patience isn't going to take a hit in the morning because I'm not getting my sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, but I feel guilty if I leave before she goes to bed. So now I'm not doing prayers. I'm not saying goodnight. God forbid something were to happen. Like I factor all of those in. So I feel guilty. Like, and that's just one example. Or if I go to a football game, I feel guilty, right? Because a lot of times, since giving up the season tickets, they're not our tickets. So I'm getting invited by someone who doesn't have 3 spare tickets. They have a singular spare ticket. Mm-hmm. So then I feel guilty, but I don't ever really go. So you guys are both like, oh yeah, this and that. And then the day comes and it's like,
and he doesn't want to go because you want to be up our butts.
Yeah, I want to be home. But I would say, alone time for myself adjusting.
I think we should start building that.
It's crazy. On one hand, like I have more technically, but I have less.
You have more free time, less alone time.
Correct.
Yeah. And same for me. I have all the free time in the world, but I don't have any alone time.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention, because this is just us like talking about our personal struggles. These are our personal struggles, knowing that it is important to have your own free time. So any moms, dads out there, like, please, we are working through these struggles because I'm going to build this muscle, be able to give myself a little more free time. And I want you to as well. And if you already do, like, don't feel guilty about it. This is something that logically we know is important and we are still working through because we are not perfect humans. So don't take this as we are
also
better
force
than
each other to go do things.
Yeah, let's build it into our actual schedule though moving. So cheer season's about to wrap up and we're about to kind of have a revamp of many things because we're getting a lot of our time and energy back. So these things are going to be kind of revamped when cheer season wraps up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, because when I stepped away, it was literally beginning of summer. So we already had 2 vacations lined up.
We already planned to just do the summer thing.
Well, before we even knew the official date of leaving, we already had 2 vacations lined up. So stepping back, it's the beginning of summer, and then the second, like as soon as middle summer came, that's when cheer started. So again, there's been no time to like fully immerse to develop the things we've been working on behind the scenes with the sole intent and dedication is to that. But when cheer's over, a lot of other doors will open up.
And we probably could have started like leaning more into that stuff, but the people we really want to give our all for cheer, and they're doing amazing. It's a great season. And then we'll be able to transition and give our all to the next things that we give our all to. Instead of, we could have made this work in between, but it wouldn't have been the experience and the power and the all the things that we know we can really provide when that is our sole like mission at the time. So for finding personal time has been a hard one, but we are going to build that into our schedule. I had to struggle with finding patience with you, finding yourself and taking a step back and going slower during this period, only because for a few months before you actually left the shop, I was kind of already like yearning to run. And then again, this was all pre-planned. This is just like internally what I'm feeling. And then when you finally did leave the shop and you're home with us full time, again, I'm ready to burst. I'm ready to run. I want to build. I want to create. I want to do, because that's just like how I get. But we already had pre-planned to take the vacation, do the family thing. Like that meant so much. And realistically, we can grow, we can run, we can sprint. We have our whole entire lives to do that. We have one summer. That's what we decided. We had one summer after kindergarten that we get to enjoy with our daughter. 100%. And we did. We were all in. We were present. We weren't stuck to our phones. We're not this. We're not getting pulled multiple ways. His phone's not going off with distributors finally. So again, all of that was planned and important. And I'm so grateful we had it and still have it. But that very much is still a struggle for me because everything in my body, when it wants to create and build and be in flow, it just does. That's not something I can turn off and on. So I've been on the verge and I've found ways to find different outlets to like get some of that creativity out, but not in the capacity I really want to. Again, that was pre-planned and that was just something that like I have to get through. We're almost there, but that was one of my struggles with stepping away. I was just ready to run, but we already had pre-planned chill togetherness time built in very strategically, and that was more important.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure I was going hard for
how many years?
13?
Yeah.
13 straight years of minimum 60-hour work weeks.
And you're young, like you're a baby. So that's your whole...
I made that choice too before meeting you too. I just, I made the choice of, like I said, we've touched base on this before. My goal was to live life young. Some people call it retire young, whatever you want to call it. But my goal was to live life young. And
so you didn't want to retire at 60 when your bones hurt?
That is so dumb to me. Like, why? I guarantee you, every single person who is like 60 plus years old and like that's when they retire and that's when they do all this. Not saying you don't do anything in the meantime, but like fully blown, like you decide what your day to day looks like. I guarantee you, everybody over 60 years old would look back and be like, dang, I wish I had the resources like you guys have now to not have to have done that.
We're getting told that now by people, because the thing is, you don't realize that it's a possibility until you see somebody else doing it. And then you're like, whoa, if only I made those decisions when I still had the time and my body still felt good.
And it's a lot easier now because technology compared to when they were working and they were younger. But even now, people our age and older, like I understand you have your career, but like instead of making it a 25-year career, try to make it a 5-year career. And in that 5 years, work on something else that's going to get you motivated to move out and be like, I'm sorry, you typically don't become rich by not being your own boss. You just typically don't.
Or at least, especially for me, not rich in the way that I want to be rich. I want to be rich with my own schedule, with my own assets, with my own. But
even still, you're talking 1% of 1% of people who have a boss become rich. Mm-hmm. The 1%ers don't have bosses for the most part. Like the real 1%ers don't have boss. They have people they might need to answer to, like boards and stuff like that. But when they're the owner of the company, like, again, there are many successful people out there that make millions of dollars, excluding athletes, right? Like, that's just
and singers,
correct.
performers.
Like, you're talking 9-to-5ers, right? Like, the amount of 9-to-5ers that are like tangibly rich with financial freedom, time freedom, lifestyle freedom, and all aspects of rich. To get all of them, you have to be your own boss.
Yeah.
You can have family, you can have love, you can have money in the bank, you can have all that stuff, but what happens if you just lose your job or they do cutbacks? I mean,
which we see all the time, unfortunately. And then people are like screwed, you know, can't figure out what to do because you also haven't. I've always been of the philosophy, if you're going to have a 9-to-5, which I was a server bartender, so that was different hours. But if you're going to have a 9-to-5, you better work on yourself and your own assets or whatever that means for you in your 5 to 9. And if you're not, you're going to get left behind by everybody who was spending that time working for somebody else to, you know, secure their household or whatever, but then knew that they had to build something for their own in the spare time. Right. And I've literally been doing that forever, and I couldn't imagine.
That's how we got here.
Yeah, 100%. So also with being home, we have both had to grow our capacity for patience. Granted, we put this on our plates, so this is on us. But like, we have a puppy at home who very much tests our patience all day.
Our patience isn't even our patience isn't even with each other, and it's not even with our daughter. It's outside factors that we have brought in. Maybe not the best time, but
well, it's growing our capacity.
Correct. We knew it would try to grow our capacity was the biggest thing because we wanted a dog. It's been a while.
And unfortunately, you have to get through the annoying phases to get to the easier phases. And our last dog, I've had her for years before I met Travis. She wasn't even old, but she was chill and she didn't bark. And she could sit right here with this podcast. She wouldn't make a peep. Like, she was just happy to be with us.
Yeah, not our new one.
We have a puppy. He wants to talk to you. He got shit to say.
He's not annoying in the sense that he doesn't bark.
He doesn't bark.
Like when the door knocks. He doesn't bark when people are here. He barks to talk to you.
He has something specific he wants to let you know,
right,
which is you to pick up this toy or do this or I gotta pee.
I would say, or he needs to go outside. Like that's huge. So
and you know, he's communicating. He's not being annoying or aggressive or just for the hell of it. So it's like, how do you stop him from like he's talking to us?
And it's just something we're not used to. We're not used to that puppy energy that just
he's so cute.
We'll go for an hour walk and come back and he'll just lay on the tile floor to cool down for like 10 minutes and then
he's ready to go.
Ready to go.
So that is definitely growing our capacity because sometimes, this isn't all the time, we already are very patient people, like way more than most people. But there are some times where by the time Milani like gets home from school, we're kind of already like annoyed and getting a little tapped out, and we're still like pretty patient with her. But then one thing to know about our daughter is she doesn't stop talking.
Yeah,
so our dog doesn't stop talking. Our kid doesn't stop talking.
That's why a lot of times usually just one of us go to get her. So
we have a second. I actually have been sending Travis because I've been able to pick Milani up her entire life. I've had that privilege thanks to you, and I appreciate that. But you've never been able to be the one that's the constant picker-upper and stuff. So I really let you do that this year, which is wonderful. And that gives me 20 to 30 minutes of, and then you'll take her to go get like a snack quick or something. Yeah. And I do enjoy it. That's my only alone time. And even sometimes me and you are home and we'll be in different rooms and we're still together.
You know, that was the one thing that from my child, like one of the very, very, very few great things about my childhood was right on the same street of my elementary school. There was a Hess. Obviously, no longer Hess doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't it?
No,
oh.
I think they were bought
I grew
up
up
by
with Hess too.
I think they were bought up by 7-Eleven, maybe.
Okay.
But there was a Hess, and every day after school, we were able to stop at the gas station and get a snack and a drink every single day.
Oh, that's fun.
So
it's like a core memory for you that you now get to replicate with Milani.
Yeah. You know, I'm not going to let her just go get chocolate and stuff, but you know, my mom didn't care. But for the most part, I wasn't getting anything crazy either. I got I got a bigger lollipop with the gum in the middle. Back then, the super blow pops were a big deal. Now it's just
I loved those.
But now that's just your average lollipop, right?
Well, everything's supersized naturally, unfortunately.
Except we lost McDonald's fries.
We did. Why is that the thing they took away?
Yeah,
Come on. Take the supersized pops.
And like a Gatorade or something, like vitamin water is what I got every
You're an
day.
athlete, so I could see that.
We were getting ready to go to the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
So it was just one of those things. But that's one thing that I love doing is just stopping and getting a snack. So.
And I love my alone time while you stop and get your snack.
It's
and then Milani comes
extra
home.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we're all happy. And then it allows for the transition from our day without her to then being parents, because we do very much try to put our day away when she comes home, because the whole point of us being home full time is to be parents. And that's really fun. The next thing I have on this list is we had to get used to, I guess this is kind of circling back to cheer, but in a different way, but like the amount of energy loss and emotion and drainingness. I feel like I'm using negative words, but I don't mean for it to be that way. But the reality is cheer takes a lot more out of me, and now us by proxy, than I planned for. Because in a vacuum.
Right, being the cheer coach and being on the team isn't a burden. It's not negative.
Mm-mm.
When you factor in what your life goals are,
and we're
it's
in
a
the
volunteer position.
Oh, let's not forget that point.
You factor in the pros and cons. And unfortunately for people like us, there are a lot of internal cons, but there's a lot of external pros.
For sure. And love that we get to be a part of this and lead these little girls in the way that we find to be important, and our daughter's thriving and all of the things. But also internally, being a cheer coach puts more on you than just teaching little girls a routine. Like, we're having
100%.
to deal with boards and rules and constant nonsense for this volunteer position, but we don't know how to do anything half-assed. So we treat it like it's freaking, I don't know, Wall Street or some crazy shit. And it's just a lot of, it drains a lot of our energy. And then also because we go above and beyond and we are coaching for a rec team, which kind of gives like bare minimum things as far as like our standards, we're constantly going above and beyond to set things up, make t-shirts, make this, make that, buy this, buy, like, just to make up for the lack of, because we don't want the girls to have a lack of anything. So yeah. I feel like collectively we are giving way more energy. My other cheer coaches are amazing, so I actually don't want to say that. They're so freaking awesome.
I thought you were going to say compared to other teams.
I was going to say compared to other coaches in general.
Yeah.
But
well, that's what I meant by, I knew we weren't counting our coaches,
okay.
But when you say other coaches, I was figuring other teams.
Because even like we went to a competition where the girls just like weren't treated fairly. So we went out and got them their own trophies. Like, we go above and beyond to make sure that all the bases are covered. The girls feel so special. They're protected from the politics are in every sport. We protect them from the politics. We deal with all this stuff on our own. We have to deal with parents. So collectively, it's not like we just have a 2-hour practice twice a week, which now is 3 to 4 times a week, but it's just a lot more draining.
Yeah.
And it takes away from me being able to create otherwise because of the transitions and just more than like I was ready to, give for this particular season. And that's okay. Would you agree on that then?
100%.
Obviously, okay. And then the last thing that I have that we ran into since stepping away from the shop, and this is really more towards me, so I don't know if you have more to add after this, but I need to learn how to have fun again. And I don't think that has anything to do with you, because you...
Nah, that's every day
you're just
for me.
Fun.
every day is April Fool's for me.
Which is crazy that he is the most fun, amazing human. And I am my best self with you, but lately I haven't been having fun. I haven't, like, internally, I haven't been having fun. Externally, I haven't been fun. I used to be really funny, and now I feel like it almost, like, I'm not funny anymore. I don't know. I just need to, I think there was a lot of frustration that I've dealt with in this transition. Again, because I'm ready to run, and that's just not what we planned for this to be, but everything in my body, like, I can't control that. So I think all of that, like, frustration and almost like suppressing and trying to figure out where it fits in is causing me to not feel fun. I feel happy. So I don't want to say I don't feel happy. I absolutely I'm ecstatic. I love my life. But
there's a wiring problem. Like, it just needs to get reconfigured, because you'll have excitement doing it, but you won't allow yourself to fully immerse in the fun, because we're not exactly where we are wanted to be at the end of the championship line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to get there overnight anyway. And that's 100%. What we talk about. And so, there's coaches that we have life coach, business coach, and the one that you have is constantly telling you to reap the benefits of the rewards that we've have and have been able to create for ourselves. And you'll do it for like 2 days and then you'll feel guilty because you're like, I'm still not there. And it's like, I have to remind you that we're not going to get there tomorrow and it's not going to be the next day.
Why?
But if you can't have fun in doing it the whole way,
100%.
you're not going to enjoy.
And I don't want to look back at the process and say like, damn, that sucked. Because also I do enjoy the process. I do enjoy the learning. I do enjoy the building, the growing, the creating. Like, so I don't want it to be, I don't know how it's turned into this thing where I'm like not enjoying the process as much because I feel like I'm like trudging through quicksand.
Who was? Let me see. I think I have the quote in my phone.
But it also doesn't make sense because I am very much enjoying it. But even like watching the podcast back, and this is why I'm very grateful for social media. I'm grateful for showing up on video cameras. I can see that I'm not I can see that part of my aura not shining. Even watching back these conversations, I'm like, why are you I'm chill, I'm cool, I'm awesome. I'm like, you're not being your awesome self. Like
Well, I'm pretty sure when we were watching it, it was Myron Golden that said it. He was the one that said, you have to have fun along your journey. Because if not, once you get there, once you get the success, you're not going to be happy in your success.
Yeah. And that's real. And I logically understand that, but it is oddly taking work for me to have fun again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's probably an accumulation of things. So I don't think there's one answer. And that's okay.
I separate just the process of it for me but I've been a goof my whole life. Like that's just been
Class
it's in
clown.
my DNA. Absolutely. Since I was a kid.
I love it.
Constantly joking with people, constantly tricking, but that's just the light I want to create. Like even if someone has a bad day, I know how to subtly crack the smile. Like I don't full blown just like annoy you with it, but like as people, not just you, I can subtly crack the smile.
Yes. Superpower. That's why you are built that way. It's absolutely one of your superpowers.
I think that my brain just automatically separates when I'm not working, and I'm just a goof at work anyway. But when I'm not like doing stuff on the back end for work, and it's just playtime for me. I don't like if we're at Disney, I'm not thinking about anything and nothing that I'm doing. Even if we're just creating content while we're there for a family vault of good times of videos and stuff like that. So like technically it's work, but I don't think it is. You're
just recording the fun we're having.
I'm just doing it. Yeah. It doesn't feel like, yeah. I don't
know
how
also,
else to explain
you're
it.
really good at that. Even like, I'm like, honey, we really need to throw up a video today. Like come up with something because I'm not feeling my fun self. And off the rap, you're like, okay, we're going to do this and I'm going to say this and we're going to be this. And then I have fun doing it because you just created this like fun scenario and atmosphere naturally without even having to think about it. Definitely one of your superpowers. And so that almost like makes it weird. Maybe I'm almost like subconsciously letting you do that now that you're home more. Like maybe I almost feel like I passed that role on to you or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out.
Nah, let's not let that get twisted. I was always the fun parent.
No, you were, but maybe that's why subconsciously I feel like I toned down a lot. I got more chill, more frustrated, more like internal. But I'll figure it out. You know, it's all growing pains and up and down. And that's my whole life is kind of does like this. So, and it's really fun. It's a roller coaster at all points.
Hey, there you go. It's fun.
It's fun. We're on a roller coaster. It's all good. We're figuring it out. That's all I have for my list. What do you have anything else you want to end this with? Things that you've noticed you ran into since stepping away from the shop?
No, like we talked about the list prior. So I think my biggest thing is the morning routine because that sets my tone for the day. So I like to just get at it.
I think that was our biggest thing too. And we're still, I think we build these things more intentionally into our schedule and maybe leave me in the room to do my morning thing. And yeah, I do.
I typically don't come back in the bedroom after.
Yeah.
So unless I'm actually I'd like us showering or something. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know how we not overcome. These are just things, you know, not everything has to be fixed. Some things just are
muscles to work.
Yeah. So we'll keep you updated with how that goes.
It's always peace up and A-Town down.
And cut.